Hope you like Fairfield. I trust the dusty streets, inescapable advertising, and high-strung citizenry live up to your expectations of an Auntie's Choice company town?
Whether it's an orifice or a face, Auntie's Choice makes a cream for it.
Did pulverizing them suffice? No, I couldn't liquefy them. Apply heat and congeal them into kibble no beast could resist. Oh, Ethel, darling, you're a genius. Approach with less haste next time, won't you? Copernicus may be tame, but he still doesn't take kindly to being startled. Oh, Inez, you look, well, like you could use an ice bath and a cup of newly formulated trip teas. Has something happened?
Something has, all right. I ended my contract effective immediately. Now I'm free to prove myself to everyone in Auntie's Choice. My way.
Well, that's wonderful news. Or is it? I admit I'm still trying to work through what contracts mean hereabouts. But you do appear to be pleased, so I shall be pleased for you. Oh, yes. The Protectorate did not have contracts in this sense. Despite the time I've had to acclimate to Auntie's Choice, I sometimes fail to grasp such concepts.
Never mind that. I really need your help, Doc, with my graft. Was hoping you had some ideas on how to fix it.
What timing? As it just so happens, I believe I do. Before I began my new illustrious career working with our tame, scarily friends here, I was a researcher in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Oh, I was on the verge of breakthrough when they shut us down. Oh, when I think of the lives I could have reached. But in my current role, I do try to help where I can.
Where my own first aid training can't reach, Doc's got me covered. The graft knocked me on my ass for weeks when I first got it. But she nursed me back to health.
Would if I could have done more.
Despite your insinuation, there are plenty of good folk around here, but perhaps not many with Doc's particular skill set.
I understand your reservation, but I do care deeply for all my patients. Inez has attested to it, and so can Copernicus here, when he is freshly fed. Where was I? Right. I have a lead, Inez. I've identified 2 viable beasts on this island that you may be compatible with, though it may not be easy to acquire the suitable specimens. Unfortunately, the beasts must be subdued, and due to the nature of the specimens we require for the procedure, sadly killed. I might add that these are powerful beasts indeed. The first candidate is the skeleton crabble. It has a rare form of albinism and was last spotted on the western coast by Protectorate scientists, who unfortunately went missing. I happened upon an old report of theirs along with a code used to operate their machinery. If their fate is what I suspect, the code may be of use to you.
I heard rumors of the creature myself. Our skeleton sounds a good bit larger than the average crabble. Meaner and smarter, too.
The second candidate is a Raptidon matriarch, the only one of her kind on the island as I understand it. She was last spotted in the crags near the Vox Relay.
Deep in Protectorate territory. This matriarch sure ain't making it easy for us. She'll be more aggressive and more cunning than her smaller kin.
It is hardly worth the effort of a response, dear, but I might remind you that Raptidons are not native to this land. Now listen close. When you breach the matriarch's lair, you must rouse her from hibernation. I found pheromones to be quite effective. Inez, I'm certain you know a formula that may suffice.
That I do.
Excellent. It'll be a rather unpleasant wake-up call for the matriarch, so she'll be upon you in moments. I suggest your armaments be at the ready. Then the grafting part is yours. Yes, though I would recommend a careful surgical removal of the specimens, please. Now, when you acquire one or both of these parts, return here straight away, and we can begin surgery. Law guide you both out there. Oh, I love questions. Ask away. I would never imply such a thing. I'm sure the Minister and Officer Carr have only our best interests at heart. Though I must admit, their continuing quarrels give me trepidation. I'm unused to the way things are done here, I suppose. The Protectorate leadership never behaved in such a manner. Which I would not mind if the threat of annihilation weren't hanging over us so. I am accustomed to decisive and unanimous action, not this. And yet, I would much rather stay here, continue my work, and hope my leaders can reach an accord. Challenging though it may be, one wishes to woo Protectorate subjects to our ranks. The other wishes to secure a decisive victory with weaponry and technology. As for which approach is best, I wish I knew. Very well. I ought to focus more on my work than on social tensions anyhow. Well, I was a subject once. Despite my talents, the plan dictated that I should be relegated to programming cleaning mechs. Bah. But then, Auntie's Choice came along and offered to transform our lives for the better. I chose to accept. And look where I am today. Over the last year, I have climbed the rungs of my division through the sheer merit of my work. I have finally earned the respect I was always due. Poor things. They either fought to the last or chose to flee. It's regrettable, but some folk just aren't ready to embrace change. All they knew was being told how to live. They couldn't imagine any other way. Ask any of the other Protectorate subjects who converted, and they'd echo my words. When one can allow their ambitions to show, that is true freedom. Why do you assume I had anyone I could consider as such? My parents returned to the void long ago. No siblings, no children. I am the sole bearer of my name. As for friends, few cared for a janitor who talked to herself and preferred her books to praising the sovereign. Couldn't possibly understand what it's like to be seen as nothing. Then finally be afforded the opportunity to prove your worth. In any case, I do hope I've satisfied your curiosity. The war effort and liberating the rest of the Protectorate waits for no one, you understand? I work directly with Officer Carr and her soldiers to ensure they're outfitted with the best Raptidon counterparts Paradise Island can provide. In theory, they'll be trusted to guard our most precious assets, including our leadership. For now, they deter encroachment from wild Raptidons. It's most agreeable. Oh, dear. I rather hoped that Copernicus rolled off the tongue a sight better than designation C0P3R. I suppose I'll ensure he responds to both in any case.
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
The anguish she always seemed to battle with, I fear it may have finally overwhelmed her. And could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. No. But even not knowing the details, I could see it troubled her. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things, for some reason she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That and the invasion itself set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. We became friends when she saved me. I'd said something without thinking. Must have been distracted. We all know to watch every last word we say. For some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter, and she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't think anyone could.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke about things in unfamiliar ways. I felt her words to be freeing, at first. But slowly, I began to feel unmoored, doubting everything I ever knew. She said learning the truth of things was worth it. But now I question whether her truth was just more of her penchant to sow chaos, no matter who may be caught in her schemes. Some days I wish I'd never listened to her at all. Others, I can't help but miss her. Even with everything.
Know a little something about that, too.
I did try to. Once. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield. They seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No. Nearest I could surmise, she'd left just prior to the fall of Fairfield. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe. She used the same code for everything. 15-778.
That sounds like it could be her agent identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. What do you mean? It was where she worked, one of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much, at least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can ask.
Being this close to DeVries feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?
There's a beast out there just waiting to yield up its vitals to a grafting table. I'd like to begin the hunt soon, if it's all the same to you.
Keep your hands where I can see them. Halt! What's an Auntie's choice monstrosity doing here? Have you come to spy? So confusion and disruption, I'll not have it.
Good, because I ain't bringing it. Though if you're that desperate to test my patience, by all means, keep it up.
Patience. As if you infiltrators possess as much, feverishly raising our lands wherever you go. You are fortunate that I've been ordered not to open fire unless fired upon.
They never listen to sound advice, do they?
Some folk are dead set on going their way, even if it's straight out an airlock.
I will not suffer an outsider to trespass and trample further through our lands. Turn back from this bridge now, lest my ever-depleting prudence be spent. Yes, they are corporate degenerates who threatened our dominion and way of being. When we captured them, we hanged them as a warning. Now the capitalist scourge's advancement has ended. Their morale is shattered, and they do not dare encroach. I dare say this spectacle served its purpose well. If you are an enemy of the Protectorate, you will be judged. May we all take heed of such a warning. Out of the question. Must I repeat myself? If you are not a loyal Protectorate subject, you will not cross this bridge. Be grateful I do not judge with such haste as my superior to the north, Brigadier Montelli. He's been fervent of late, looking for any Protectorate subjects who have displayed disloyalty in his estimation. Indeed. Though once this was the accepted order in which we handled matters, now, well, any associations with wrongdoers results in swift execution. That has, unfortunately, put many folk in his sights, myself included. And so we wait for the proverbial axe to fall. Betraying the Protectorate, using the Sovereign's name in vain, overindulging in food and drink, loafing, boasting, belching, and of course, colluding with wrongdoers. But I have not actually done wrong. I simply have the misfortune of knowing those who have. And the Protectorate cannot survive if good subjects are punished so indiscriminately. I may have need of your help, stranger, if you are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the Protectorate. I know of 2 traitors who yet remain on this island. Bring them to me, and I'll dispose of them before the Brigadier questions my loyalty and deems me guilty by association. In return, I shall grant you clearance to cross the bridge. Fair exchange, wouldn't you say?
This is exactly the manner of depravity we mean to free these folk from. I know we gotta cross the bridge, but there must be an alternative. One that don't involve an executioner.
I commend you for your eager interest. I think 2 traitors in particular. First is Ida Rutledge, a worker at Spire Grove. I once had utmost respect for her. We were, oh, damn it all, we were friends. When the Grove went silent during the invasion, I assumed she'd fought to the death as any subject would. But reportedly, she's not only failed to die, but is also teaching the enemy soldiers how to use the equipment. Conspiring against us. Such treachery is unconscionable. What? How do you know this? That is heartening. But intent alone shall not suffice. I require proof that she followed through. Now, if you'll allow me to proceed. The second traitor I seek is Charlton Weintrott of Westport. He is, unfortunately, my cousin, and most assuredly a disgrace to our line. He too failed to die defending his home during the invasion alongside the other residents of Westport. They'll be seen to in time. But Charlton, well, I must deal with him personally. Oh, how I anticipate wiping that smug expression off his face. Are these orders clear? I am not. And with luck, I will not have to pull his once justice has been meted. Anyone who allowed the enemy to overrun their land is a traitor. So yes, my dear cousin must answer for his crimes. Now go on, seek out Charlton and send him here, if you wish to cross the bridge. But beware if you step out of line. Other subjects may not be so generous with their deal-making as I. Farewell.
Not gonna lie, my thoughts are plagued by the notion of perishing atop that picker. Though I can't reconcile if I'd have starved, parched, or followed poor Jackson to the ground. Ida Rutledge. She was one of the Protectorate defectors underneath me who opted for a rewarding life of self-determinism. Or at least I thought she was. Honestly, I shudder with baffled confusion even thinking of such a thing. But I guess that's the benefit of being reared in a society that values our value. Thanks again for getting us off that literal ledge. Though with our gratitude meaningfully expressed through the requisite bits, I'm not sure we have anything more to discuss.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472.
Oh, great. A 472. Been a while since I had to dodge bullet spray.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472. 472 means they're gonna fill anything that moves full of holes.
Scout report.
Yes, sir. Looks like the repair center is still out of order, sir.
Excellent. At ease, Scout. Glad to hear that they haven't managed to repair it, even if Command has temporarily put the actual fighting to a stop. Can't help you. Sorry.
Mind your own business interests.
Consume in peace, and we won't have a problem. You'd make a great lower manager.
These anti-soldiers seem twitchy to you? Might want to sneak our way in.
Enemy approximating in our vicinity, Commander.
We're following the rules ever get anybody. It's like the rules are just a guide for what not to get caught doing. And all this is just sloppy. I still can't reckon how Slauson got kicked up the ladder before I did. All I get is more tasks, more pressure. No fancy new designation, no spread fucking raise.
We have everything we need.
Huh. Well, at least it's not shooting the water anymore.
And thank the Sovereign.
Visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile.
Hogarth. Milver Street reckons he's the key to converting this town. Let's bring him the good news of Auntie's choice, shall we?
Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Apologies, but I don't believe I should be discussing such matters with you without permission. Once you report to the Vigilant, I'd be happy to speak freely. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't gift us the paradigm, and we were left to scramble for purpose and profit like Auntie's workers. To inform on a neighbor is a blessing, Prudence says. I'm still waiting for a few thank yous.
But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing on your neighbors. Same as ever.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction.
Well, it's infected. Redstone arrives soon, we'll have to start cutting. You walked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall, flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. Don't suppose you have any medical supplies to spare, do you? That you might kindly consider donating? Oh, no thank you. Not looking for anything that does more harm than good. I have enough ailments to manage already. From what I've heard about Auntie's medicaments, might poison a patient or cause them to grow an extra head or something. Never know what they're testing out on you.
My extra parts aren't side effects. That's your implication. And anyhow, I should think some minor side effects would be preferable to dying.
Honestly? Well, I'm a reasonable judge of character, and you seem upright. On behalf of my patients and I, thank you. We're all grateful. Guess outsiders aren't all just base individualists like they say on the wireless. Barring this being some tricky sales strategy, that is. This is a good start, but I fear it won't last long. Wouldn't happen to know a reliable means to procure more, would you? They'd sell to us? Those medicaments you gave us before? No, never. You must think me easily hoodwinked. Our societies are sworn enemies. You almost make that sound reasonable, under a highly skewed, morally vacuous light. Not seeing a wealth of options here at present. I can watch my patients die, then face execution, or we can resettle elsewhere and remain alive. I lean toward the latter. The abandoned section of Westport ought to have some supplies. Should be enough medicaments down there to help our injured survive the trip to Fairfield. It's perilous, though. Plenty of the structures below are still submerged. Others, ones that escaped being flooded, got abandoned once the Crabbles moved in. Those ought to have some supplies. If I were you, I'd try to sneak past the Crabbles out there. They seem rather territorial of late. All right, be careful out there.
Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of perfect symmetry.
Has the Sovereign said how many of those pills were each allowed? It must be at least a fistful more.
Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
Under Protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows.
Greetings, non-protectorate wretches. With regret, I must inform you that those outside our glorious society may not take freely from our stocks, as our subjects do. However, I may offer you a limited selection of premium items for moderate respective fees.
Enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community.
Initiating.
The Matriarch and Sovereign chose Eden, the perfect ecotope, as our home, and devised the paradigm as a great way to maintain it. Appeared right out of the aether, just as I imagine our proud sentinels do. Like, here I am, your innermost thoughts are known to me, and nobody once hears from you again. Caught me reciting passages from a beacon to the cosmos, illustrating my steadfast fidelity. All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. That part always hits me directly. To quote my personal log, an essential passage, rightful and true. Charlton Weintraut.
We have community, purpose, time for recreation. We sleep well.
Oh, it's that, homespun metaphor. The Protectorate as a happy, attentive family, the Sovereign smiling beneficently at the head of the table, all such, so forth and the like.
We take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
Say, you are every bit you seem, yes? Thoroughly on the up and up and in no way a hidden agent? It is widely known that a sentinel is required to stand revealed before rendering judgment. Why, a plot point about that featured prominently in the latest episode of I, Red Cloak.
Of course you believe everything on the Aether Wave. I guess it would be stranger if you didn't swallow the propaganda, even if it does take some heavy dramatic license.
Because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native
Well, you appear to be far more fluent with Sentinel procedure than I. Veiled implication understood. If you'll excuse me, I best return to my work tasks. If you were a Sentinel, or in some Sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles. In any case, back to it.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise.
The Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around? Me? Moved to Fair? Why, even if it was still held by our proud Protectorate, I've been assigned here. Everything is in its proper place within the paradigm. Would a true ally speak so plainly? Or coolly remark with some cryptic double entendre? Straight talk seems more the province of hidden agents, savvily angling to trick somebody. If you were a Sentinel, or in some Sentinel-adjacent role, I'd of course be honored to have you inspect my belongings. Unfortunately, my house is currently besieged by Crabbles.
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of
The Outlander I spoke with before. What brings you back around? Did I? Not again. Oh, this? It's a birthmark, skin condition, both, about which I am rather sensitive, thank you very kindly.
Depletion of resources and a lack of community.
Haha. Again, are you sure you are no kind of heretofore unrevealed hidden agent? Because I have the distinct feeling you possess some unknown agenda, yet am unclear to the whys and wherefores surrounding it. In short, I remain somewhat confounded. That is, I meant to say, through his beneficent guidance, and bid you good day.
I can usually tell when a fella's up to something, and that fella's up to something. Might be nothing serious, but we ought to poke around and find out what. Just in case.
To rightly appreciate it all and thank the sovereign.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she...
Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
our sprint. Typical predicament for an anti-bottom runger like me. Wish I never snuck in here to begin with. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Nah, it was a great idea. So much stuff for the taking around here. Motherload of loot. Plenty to get me back in the sprat race. Just didn't account for all these crabbles. Real fly in the old ointment. I could just sit tight, live lean off all these supplies, hope the crabbles skedaddle, or maybe open the door and bolt. Seems like a good idea. Nah, it's a great idea.
Leave it to Auntie Cleo to turn a perfectly charming little hamlet called Fairfield on a pleasant moon named Eden into a garish, cutthroat, jingle-blaring mud hole.